Well, shit. That was a terrible game to watch. I don't even really know where to start. Sorry if this is kind of wishy-washy, but that's just my reaction. To Forest, nil. Braga, 1 in the Europa League. The goal coming courtesy of Ryan Yates, making his starting debut after being out due to injury for a bit. Is that an excuse? Fuck no. Let's just get into it. So here's the team we put out. Dan and Doy started up top as a striker. Gibbs White was behind him. McAtee was on the right. Bacco was on the left. Douglas Luiz and Yates were the 6 and the 8, with Yates being primarily on the right side. We had Savona, Milinkovic, Morato, and Aina with Sells in goal. I'd like to say it was a great match with a lot of back and forth, but it was a very cagey affair with both teams being very sloppy in possession and giving the ball away a lot. They have player of the match being Lucas Hornick. Hornick. I think that's about right, yeah. I think that's about right. I think it could be either him or the other guy who blocked Yates' header. How did they play? And the reason I'm starting with them is because I'm going to go in on our team, so I'm going to be ranting for a bit, so I want to get them out of the way. They played like a team from Liga Portugal, very sloppy, very lacking in quality. They had 0 shots on target, and yet they still won. What can you really say to that? I think nobody really stood out for me except for the keeper. And I wouldn't even go and sign him because his distribution was terrible. Anytime he had a long ball kick it just went out of play. Um, this is a rotated side for them. This is not their strongest 11. Matinha was on the bench. He didn't play. That other center back I talked about, Carvalho, didn't play. He's subbed on. Val Victor, you could say, isn't their best striker. I think it is a toss-up between him and Fran Navarro. But I think they brought in Pau Victor for a reason. So I think he probably starts ahead of Navarro. Regalis was their starting right back / right mid, and Lelo was their starting left back, and he didn't play. We also went with a heavily rotated side. I said in my match preview that this would tell us a lot about Sean Dyche's mindset in regards to the Europa League. And I think Sean Dyche has made it very clear that the Europa League is not a priority. Which, fuck me if I don't understand why. Like, we are European heritage. Like, we should be striving to win any European competition we're in with the utmost sincerity. And instead, we're putting out these half-baked teams. But hey, I mean, I can't blame Dyche for not having a fucking striker because we sent Callum Window to fucking Frankfurt for no reason. Calm down. Let's go through our players. Dan Doy played striker. Had terrible touches. Had good positioning, made good runs in behind. Our players, for some weird reason, just seem to refuse to make line breaking through ball passes for whatever fucking reason. Sorry if I'm cussing a lot. It's going to be like this the whole time. I mean, he's not a striker. He is a winger. He moved to the right side to play a winger in the second half once we made our substitutions. He was still kind of shit, but at least he was better shit. Morgan Gibbs White, how he's rated a 6.1 on SofaScore, it just boggles my mind. Okay. Fuck, I don't know. I guess I'm blind. Missed a penalty. Is anybody surprised? The guy who struggles to fucking score missed the fucking penalty. What a fucking loser, dude. What a fucking piece of shit player, bro. Get him out of my club. Tired of watching him be the shittest player on the pitch. And yeah, you can say he had a decent first half. You could say that. But then you go and you miss a fucking penalty. And then he gets the ball in open space. 1v1 with the center back. Tons of space to shoot the ball at the goal. And what does he do? He left foot boots it over the fucking goal! Moving on to McAtee. He was probably our best player. I think it's a toss-up between him and Morato. But Morato almost lost the ball a couple times, so maybe I give it to McAtee. But McAtee lost the ball a couple times as well, so who the fuck knows, man? Who really gives a shit? McAtee can get gone. You can get gone, buddy. You're fucking shit. I mean, bro, puts a hand in your back, you just all over the fucking pitch. Absolute joke. Go to La Liga or somewhere where they're not physical, bro. You're ass. Moving on to the other winger. Bakwa. I've seen a lot of people who are excited for Bakwa. I will not lie to you. I was one of them. I was excited for Bakwa. I saw the player he was at Strasbourg, the technical player. Maybe he didn't have the goals, but at least he had the technical ability to maybe be kind of a Doku-esque player who can keep us up the pitch, provide possession. But instead, he's a fucking shit. Every time I watch him play, I gotta come up with fucking excuses for why he's not dog shit. Douglas Luiz. Didn't have a bad game, I don't think. Kept the ball ticking when he got it. You know, actually, I changed my mind. Douglas Luiz was the best player on the pitch. Yeah. I don't know why we continue to fucking play him in the six, deep in the six. It's not his best position. It's not his most optimal position. And by putting him in the six, you're asking other players who aren't as good maybe in the eight position to play the eight position, which creates a domino effect of the quality dropping in areas of the pitch all across the board. Douglas Luiz is an eight. He's not a pivot player. He's not a six. He's not a deep line playmaker. That is not what he is. What he's good at is ticky-tack football, one-touch passing, short passes, keeping it tight, keeping it close, and he's good at long shots. Where the fuck does any of that have? Do you do any of that in the sixth position? Maybe you take pot shots at goal every once in a while, but overall, do you really do any of that? No. And I have no idea why we continue to play him in this stupid position, but it's whatever. Ryan Yates, I give him some grace. One, because I like Yates. I have an obvious bias towards him. He's an academy player. Another reason I have leniency for him is because he has been injured, And his first match back was this match. Would you? Why would you start a player who's been injured for weeks and make him play in a Europa League away match in Portugal in the middle of the week? Why would you do that? I have no fucking clue, bro. I have no fucking clue. Anyways, he had a shit performance. Obviously, had the own goal. Like the thing with Yates is, and I love the guy, I really do, but he doesn't keep the ball moving. He doesn't keep the play moving forward up the pitch. Every time I see him get the ball, it's always a sideways, backwards pass, and he's always missing these runs that are being made ahead of him. And it's just so frustrating. There was times in that match where he could have played the ball out, and I know he has it in him. I've seen him make these passes. Could have made the pass outside to the winger McAtee multiple times, and for some weird reason just refused to pass it. Passed it back to Milinkovic or Savona. Anyways, he's not a starter. I've never picked him to be a starter. I think he has a very niche job, a niche role, and I don't think that role is starting for us. Maybe on the back line, I don't really have any problems with any of the four. Savona, he did fine. He was all right. Milinkovic kind of got dummied. What's it called? When the ball pops in between your legs. Anyways, he got dummied on the goal when the guy dummied through his legs and then crossed it, and it hit Yates and went in for an own goal. Outside of that, I think he had a decent performance. Morato, there's a couple of times where I thought he got himself into trouble and almost lost the ball, but somehow he kept it, and so I don't have a problem with him. Aina um, seemed to be lacking the ability to control the ball a lot. That's why his score is so low. He kept mistouching it, and he kept putting passes out of play. But defensively, he was fine. Defensively, he was fine. The back four, at least, like I said, they gave up 0 shots on target, so can't really fault themselves. Same thing. Can't really fault him. I got nothing on this back line. About the substitutions, Hudson-Odoi came on. A lot of overhit balls and crosses. That's probably because it was cold and he travels in Portugal, so you kind of, you're just a little off, and that's what that was. Anderson got a red card for something he said to the referee at the end of the match. It was very inconsequential because they had already won the ball and they were going to waste time either way. I don't know what he said. I assume we're going to find out later on. But this is me reacting, an hour or two after the match, and I haven't heard anything yet. Williams looked good, looked on it. What I expect from Williams, 7 out of 10 every time. What can I say? Dominguez, he came on the pitch, was commanding, was pointing, telling people where they need to press, where they need to go, pushing Morgan Gibbs-White to be able to pitch. When he came on, Morgan Gibbs-White became the striker, so he was telling them to go up the pitch. He was commanding. I think at this point, Dominguez makes a real shout for me to start continuously. We'll talk about that when we get to Brentford. Sangare, he wasn't on for very long. He was very tidy on the ball. I didn't see any problems. Nothing to say about him. For the manager, Sean Dyche. I don't know if he was directed by the board or the club to not take the Europa League seriously. I don't know if that's a decision he made himself. I don't know any of that. I'm not going to comment on it. I wish he would have took it seriously, but he obviously did not. What I can comment on is, once again, the lack of fucking tactics. Once again, just long ball FC, no fucking change or interplay. I watched that match. and we just kept playing the ball outside in the wing areas. And if you actually looked in the middle of the pitch, there's like 4 or 5 fucking Braga players in there, and not a single fucking midfielder or anybody. Because Yates would get going into that like right back position, playing like some fucking wide half fullback shit. And Luis would kind of be the single pivot, so he would keep getting the ball from the center backs. Actually, you know what? I could just do this on tactics board. Come on, I'm taking this shit. All right. So what would happen when we get in the other opposition's half is you'd get Ndoye, Gibbs, White up here, up against the back line. You'd have McAtee split out wide, Bakwa split out wide. So you'd have Gomez and the Martinez guy right here. And then what you would see on the television is this shit. These 4 right here. Just fucking acres of space. And you just had Aina over here with Bakwa. Yates would be over here. Savona would be kind of like up the pitch with McAtee. So it'd be kind of like this a little bit, And Yates would be in this back position. Louise would be on the ball. And then you'd have like Milinkovic here and Morato here. And so there was just this fucking big ass space in the middle. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. Give me a second. Big space in the middle where you just see 4 Braga players, and there was nobody in there for us. Gibbs White wasn't dropping into that space really. Anytime that he would do something, he would be him like coming over to the sides to do something, and I don't understand why we were doing that. Maybe we were trying to overload the wings and have these fullbacks be 1v2, but it fucking didn't lead to anything. Backer would get the ball and just fucking lose it. McAtee would start to do something and then like pass it to Gibbs White or Ndoye, and then they would fucking lose the ball. Anyway, so what you ended up with is something like kind of like this. And then Yates obviously kind of would make some runs sometimes whenever he felt like it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just a failure in tactical systems. I don't like. There's nothing I can really say. I'm just so frustrated, and I at this point, I can't even tell if it's the manager or the players. I honestly can't. Honestly, I can't, because we were so fluid in attacking with Ange. We were just so open at the back. Under Nuno, obviously, we were great on the counter. And then for Dice, I think it has to be the tactics. It has to be. Because these same players were fluid in the attack under Ange. We were just leaking goals like a fucking sieve. That was the only problem with Ange. So I know they can do it. Listen, this isn't working. Okay. Yes, you can blame that we don't have a striker, but it's just not working. Okay. This layout, these tactics, this plan, this manager, it's just not working. He needs to go. He needs to go. We need to get in a manager whose number one purpose is to get joy out of these players. I mean, I think McAtee needs to leave. He needs to go. Yates shouldn't be starting. Gibbs White, sell him, please. Get him the fuck out of my club. Ndoye, to be honest, Ndoye, I don't know what the fuck to say. You and Bakwa can battle it out for that right wing position. This needs to be our starting lineup every week. And I'm going to walk you through the tactics because I'm pissed off right now, and doing this helps me kind of cool down. This is what needs to happen from now on. We need to fucking get rid of the 4-2-3-1. It's not working. Gibbs White's dog shit. We don't need to be adjusting our formation for him. He's ass. This is what needs to happen. Right there. Anderson, the 6. Beautiful. Perfect. Exactly what he needs to be doing. Luis in the 8 on the left because he can curl a ball. He can shoot a long shot. And Sangari on the right. He has proven that he can do it and that Anderson is comfortable with him doing it. Savona, quality backup player, but he is a backup. I think we can put that conversation to rest. It's done. Ina, validation, baby. That shot he put in against the woodwork was the exact reason why I keep pressing for him to start on the left back position. I think this should be the way we go. I think I do. Obviously, this guy can sit on the bench, to put it nicely. And then obviously, well, we don't have Luca yet, but I would put Luca in. I'm gonna put Taiwo in, but pretend he's Luca. Just pretend that's Luca. Hey, just pretend that's Luca. All right. Just pretend that's Luca. Okay. Just pretend. No, right there. Okay. Yep. Well, these two can fight it out all the fuck they want for that side right there. But this needs to be our lineup. And honestly, in this lineup, with Sangari making runs, Louise making runs, Hudson Odoi, whoever the fuck, I think honestly Igor might actually thrive more in this type of setting. So I think you do get better output from Igor Jesus. So you could actually have these two battling it out. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind at all. But I'm tired of it, bro. Tired of it. Of these dog crap fucking shit tactics. And I'm tired of these players that get the fucking start for being pretty instead of actually doing their job. Gibbs White, you are on $150,000 a week. Record wage for our club. Your ass! McAtee, your ass as well. You can go. I would keep Savona. He's a decent backup. Yates, I'd keep just for I don't know, fucking posterity. Morato, fuck it, keep him, whatever. But I mean, there really needs to be changes, and I've ranted. I don't know how long this fucking video is, but I'm very dissatisfied with our performance. I am frustrated, infuriated, and I want to apologize on behalf of the club, even though I don't represent the club, to every single away fan who paid money to go out to Portugal and watch this match. I'm so sorry you had to do that. I'm so sorry you had to watch that absolute fucking dross. But anyways, I let off a little bit of steam. I feel no better at all. Still pissed. So I'm gonna go. I don't know, mow the lawn or something. But if you want to see more videos, make sure you hit a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Please tell me your thoughts on the match. Am I the only one who is pissed at all this shit? Am I going overboard, doing too much? I don't know. It's just my knee-jerk reaction after getting home from work. So, have a good one. And remember, come on, you Reds! Fuck!